Welcome to this quick presentation of Corporate Access Connect, the tool that will help you enhance the value of your corporate access databases. It does this by providing a simple way to connect a target access database to a variety of other data sources, such as MySQL, SQL Server, Oracle, or cloud databases such as Microsoft's Azure or other access databases. So let's get started, and first of all, we'll quickly run through the data sources for this demonstration. The source data for our presentation is coming mainly from two SQL Server databases. Note the highlighted server name, as that is the information we'll need when setting up the connection string in Corporate Access Connect. We also have three spreadsheets that include the names of tables we shall be linking to the source databases. Also note the two access databases at the bottom of the list. The first is the target database that is currently empty. And below is another source database that we'll connect with in addition to our two SQL Server databases. Now back in Corporate Access Connect, let's create three table lists and update them with table names from the three spreadsheets. First, we need to give the list a name. Next, we need to add a description for the list of tables. And then we save the record and then add two more table lists. But to save time, I'm going to add the other records offline. Okay, we now have our three empty table lists, as you see here. Now let's import the table names from the three spreadsheets. And first of all, let's select one of the empty table lists. Now select a spreadsheet to import, and let's choose the documents list. Click Preview to view the tables, and then click on Import Selected Rows. Now that looks to be okay. Now let's see how they look in the table list. And here you can see the table names have been added to the table list and can now be used to create the table links in the target database. And again, to save time, I'll import the other two spreadsheets offline. Okay, that's done. But before we can continue, let's take a backup of the target database in case anything goes wrong. So we click on Browse and then select the CAC Target Access Database. And then choose a target location to store the database. Finally, click Backup Database, and let's choose to overwrite the existing file, and then click Save and Close. Okay, so next we have to set up the database connection strings that will allow us to access the source databases. So let's start with access connection string, and first we must enter the description. And select the SQL version, which is in this case access. And because we haven't put a password on the source access database, we need to set the connection string up as trusted. Okay, and next we have to enter the path name for the source database, which in our case is scenario demo. And finally, let's test the connection string by trying to open one of the tables in scenario demo database. Obviously, you need to select a table that you know exists in the source database, or else the connection test is going to fail. In our case, everything looks okay, so let's save the connection and now create the SQL Server connection strings. And again, we have to begin by entering a description for the connection string. Next, enter the database type, which in our case is SQL Server 2012, and also set the connection to trusted. Now we need to enter the path name for the SQL Server database. First, we need to enter the server path name highlighted in blue. And to make life easier, I'm going to copy the name of the server and then paste the value into the path name. Next, I need to enter the name of my database that resides on the server, and again this is called scenario demo. And now let's select a table we know exists on the source database to test the connection string works. So everything looks okay, and finally click Save, and then choose to create a new record. But to save video time again, I'm going to create this last connection string offline. Okay, now we have 3 connection strings and 3 table lists displayed on the screen, so we can begin linking the tables to the target database. And to do that, we select Link Tables from the menu bar. First, let's select the path to our empty target access database. This one here. And because I've added a password to the target access database, we must now enter the value. And next, we need to select one of the table lists that contain the table names we shall be setting up in our target database. In this case, I'm using the exercise list. If we click on the View Tables, you can also see the list of tables in that list. The next step is to choose the connection string we set up earlier that points to the source access database containing our tables. But before we can create the tables, the links in the target database need to be validated to ensure they're correct. And the way the Corporate Access Connect does this is to check that the tables exist in the source database but not in the target database. And if the validation is successful, then the Complete Link Process button will be enabled. And if not, you'll have to fix any errors before continuing. But as you can see, in this case, there are no problems, so let's complete the process and create the links. As all the linked tables to one database, we need to again select the same target database and password. Now we need to select another table list, and in this case, we're going to select Documents List. And this time use the SQL Server Demo database connection string. And now validate the links, but as you can see, one of those seems to be in error. And so we press the View button, and we'll get help on what has actually caused the problem, as you can see here. In this case, it's because I left out the underscore between document and diary when setting up the table list. So let me go fix that problem now. Okay, that's fixed. So now let's run the validation again. And now that looks okay. So let's create the links to our SQL Server database in our target access database. I'll now create the third set of links to the Alpha database offline, and then we can view the results in our target database. Okay, here are the links we created from Corporate Access Connect, which we can now use to create reports and queries. And if you have access rights, you could also update the source databases from this one location. And if we zoom in, we can see the links automatically created by Corporate Access Connect. And that's it for now. Thanks for watching, and if you want any more information, you can go to our website at www.uplanet.com.au.